In round two,
We're going to have these same poets performing a second poem in the reverse order. So
the poems don't have to be in reverse order.
No.
No, just the poets.
Yes, you don't need to do the poems backwards. It's
Yes.
okay. Unless you want to. I'd be impressed.
Okay, so the first person in round two is Kirk Ramdad.
Please turn off your cell phones, please. Okay, this poem is called Farewell, My Old Friend. I have spent many good years with you, my friend. I regret nothing, for thou wert much a friend. Tu eras un buen amigo. I remember well the so many sacred times, the one time when I was a boy, and there was thou and I and Alyssa Milano. And I knew she was beautiful, but that time I looked at her and something happened to me that had never happened to me before. And it was thou and Alyssa and myself, my beating heart, the lightning and then the thunder, Alyssa and the thunder, thou, myself, my heart and my eyes, Alyssa and the thunder, the sadness, thou and Alyssa, the thunder, and thou, Alyssa, my beating heart. And then I was no longer a boy. But something closer to a man. Television, for this, for Alyssa Milano, I forgive almost anything. There was not only Alyssa, there was Kirk. I looked at you and said, this Kirk that you have showed to me, this James T. This Kirk with passion. This Kirk who believes in love above all things and is desired by women and commands the respect of other men. I said to you, this is a Kirk who is a better Kirk than every other Kirk. Even the Kirk who is Spartacus. And you said old Russian proverbs to me in response. And you said that you were Spartacus. Thank you, television, for Alyssa Milano and for Kirk. You were a true friend. It is not that I don't like you anymore. It is not hatred that drives me thus. It is not you, television. It is I. I still think of you, and even now, you always catch my eye. But I cannot appreciate you as I once did. I am angry at you. It is not your fault, but I am angry at you anyways. You are so powerful, television, but they use you as they would use a hammer or a socket wrench. Except you are used not to build, but to destroy, and what you destroy are minds. Yours is the loudest voice that has ever existed. When you say a thing, even if it is a lie, it becomes the truth. This would be nothing if it were just words, but it is not just words. Horrible things are done in our name, and we do not know because you do not tell us. I tell you I am hungry for knowledge. You feed me chocolate bars. When I crave justice, you put Michael Jackson on trial. It's not your fault, television. For Alyssa Milano and for Kirk, I will always thank you. But never more shall I call thee friend.
Turning off Melissa's box. And now we have the judges' scores. The lovely Natasha Shannon, who's lifting up her score.
Not dyslexic.
13.5. She scores. And 12.5, Ali. Kirk Miles.
I'm withdrawing my number. I didn't hear all of the poem. I was out doing something. Sorry. I only heard a little bit of the poem. Sorry, I can't check.
We will average out. We will average out the rest of the score. Okay, I'll work on the averages and I'll run it by Kirk before presenting it. All right? Is that cool with everyone? Yeah. Okay.
All right, okay.
Okay. The second reader of tonight, of the second round, will be
Sabo!
Sabo! Come on down, Sabo!
Yes, I'm bringing my beer on stage. Thank you. I talked to you. to you every time I come up here. I like it. My second poem is about simple things that somehow get really complicated that I think everyone in the room can attest to. I didn't have a title for it last time. I think I called it For Lisa Before I Met Her, so whatever, let's go with that again as well. Thank you. You see, the problem with me getting out of my chair and coming over to talk to you is that every time I look over first, you look right back too. And then it seems like I've been staring at you, and really I've just timed my glances split seconds before you do. I'm sitting alone and trying to remeasure the distance between us. It's kind of like demilitarizing the buffer zone of an elitist. My lit cigarette wafts like light storm clouds on the skyline. It burns my eyes. Kind of the same way watching you accepting advances from vultures and dogs straying while the hopeless romantic stays sitting still. Fighting the urge for another cigarette, I might as well have one and add another Bex to my bill. Perplexed still, hopefully these liquids will solidify my slow reflexes to invest in time with you. Dreaming up opening lines for you. Maybe I'll just get 2 tequilas with 1 line for you. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sign me up for more booze. Oh sure, I'll come across nonchalant, but smelling like a loser. Check the breath. Stand to stretch, exhaling deeply as I take my first step. Walking through this same old scene, men's lining the wall, circles of women, they all lean. A few more steps taken, my legs are a little shaken, my light has been misplaced, lost along with my poker face. We've connected. Say something new. Is it true you're engaged? I've heard a few people say it, and I don't mean to pry you, but honestly, the curiosity's been killing me. And I don't try to listen to rumors told to me until set straight by an authorized personal statement. You don't have to answer that. You just smile and nod. You feel awkward enough. So, do you like stuff? She responds to me, see, I fancy myself metaphorically literal, and I'm always on the lookout of the eyes glimmering in the corner of my peripheral. Stifle blood flow to the visceral. I stagger back, swing sideways, and wait for the next pint to reach the end of my veins. But she steps too when the room comes to a halt. My head is still spinning as she follows lead into this verbal waltz. Her hands on my shoulder, my hands on her back. I'm halfway to fully holding her and half-witted for that. She keeps on speaking and I'm weakening at best, the familiar feeling of fleeing anchored off by the heavy beating sinking in my chest. And then she says, you know, there's only a certain amount of people in the world that believe that this all may just be the time it takes for a thought to leave. Namely, you and me. I'm stuck on what to say next. I can see that she's caught on how to listen, so I take her hand, I put her palm to my mouth, and she can feel what we've both been missing. Time slips a disc, and she hits me where I'm most vulnerable, which happens to be right in the back of my throat. I count the seconds, and I read these decibels. I'm still plotting the lines of my course. But it's too late to swallow my pride, and it's too quiet to let my breath escape. So I'm going to keep this lump stuck in the back of my throat, and I'm going to use it when I finally find something good to say.
Sabo! Is it not great poetry tonight? Yeah! Natasha Shannon. 14, 13, 12.5, and 13. Everyone likes a speechless poet.